everyone, I'm in Lancaster, Pennsylvania today with my people again, a different group of people. Be heading back tonight, starting to pick people up around 2:30. It's about 12:50 right now. I'm sitting in my van at a Sheetz parking lot. I got gas. I checked out of my motel at 11, opened the door, and it was a whiteout, which they don't usually get too much snow down here compared to where I live up in New York. But anyway, I had to go get a wiper replaced. I got the driver's side replaced 2 weeks ago. I had to replace the passenger side because there was a piece of rubber hanging on all the way down here and it kept snapping. It seemed like little pebbles hitting the windshield the whole way. Finally, the Amish man next to me, he reached out the window and like yanked the piece of rubber off of it. So anyway, I found an Advanced Auto Parts down here in Lancaster and went and bought a new wiper and had them come out and put it on for me, and nobody knew how to put it on, so it took a while. I was no help. It was like the blind leading the blind. But anyway, we got it done, so I'm all set for the ride home, and it stopped snowing, but it's like a wet, packy snow, so there was poor cars. They were like slid off the road all over down here. And then I got stuck at a stoplight, and something was holding people up, so thankfully I know the streets, these main roads, pretty good down here, so I just like turned off into a shopping plaza, took the back roads down to another way to get to Advance Auto. Anyway, I'm back at the Sheetz. I got gas, so I'm full for the ride home. Went inside, got my snacks. They have the brand of pork rinds that I like because I'm on the carnivore diet, so only meat products, but that satisfies my salty, crunchy craving every so often. And I've got some sugar-free candy to snack on. I also bought, I know they're expensive. I gotta start packing my food more so I can save money, but just so I have them on hand, just once in a while on the ride home, I might need something to settle my stomach. Sometimes my stomach's off, so I bought like little meat and cheese snack packages, like pepperoni and a cheese stick, so I'm all set, and I got my bottled water. I did get Burger King when I first left the motel. That was my lunch. It was 2 bacon double cheeseburgers with only bacon and cheese and no buns, and that's my usual. Got the same thing last night for dinner when I got here, and that was pretty good. So I was gonna film in the motel, but I was tired, so I didn't get around to that last night, but maybe another time on one of my trips. Anyway, so the goal of my channel is to spread joy, teach people how to be joyful if they've lost their way. I remember exactly how it felt when I felt stuck and I didn't know what to do about it. And it's been baby steps, and it's been a long time, but it's worth it. Once you get started, you just got to get started. And honestly, like I'll say all the time, your first place to go for help is God. I think I tried everything over the years. Self-help books, talk shows, YouTube, you name it, people going to people for advice, and everybody means well, and they'll give you advice that you probably won't take because, maybe it's not coming from the right person or said in a certain way. So at least that's what happened for me when I first really got started on my journey. Funny story. I was driving along. I don't know where I was going to, but I was going maybe to work or to town to shop or something. Anyway, I had the radio on. I'm listening to a song, and it was a great song, great melody, but whatever song it was, it made me sad. I started crying. I'm driving, and then all of a sudden I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I making myself sad? I wasn't 2 minutes ago. What happened? So I was like, I'm turning the channel. I'm gonna find something happy. So I'm scanning the channels, trying to find something happy, a happy song, and everything was just not anything I wanted to listen to. And then all of a sudden I tuned into this woman preaching, and I'm like, she was talking about the battlefield of the mind. And do I think it was a coincidence that I just turned into her station when I was going through that same thing and I was asking God for help? And no, it was definitely targeted for me. I felt like she was talking directly to me, exactly what I was going through. It's the battlefield of your mind, and you have to take control of your thoughts. And so basically, then I just started watching and listening to everything she had. I started getting her CDs and listening to them in the vehicle. I watched her videos. Her name is Joyce Meyer, if anyone's interested, and she was who I needed to hear, and she presented it in the way I needed to hear it, and she helped me so much over the years. Now, I don't listen or watch her videos as much as I used to, because I mostly talk to God now. I don't rely on like another party, like a third party. I just go directly to God with everything. I give everything to God now, and it's still a work in progress. Sometimes I still sink and trying to figure out things on my own, and I'm getting frustrated, and then it's like, wait, what am I doing? No. All right, God, I'm giving this to you. I'm not going to be frustrated anymore, and hopefully, you'll make everything be okay. Everything will work out. And so that's what I've been doing. When I first started, I was reading the Bible a lot, and I was getting God's word through a lot of the stories, and I enjoy to read the Bible and study it for different things I'm going through, or just to learn anything that God wants to speak to me through that. I don't read the Bible that much like I used to. Maybe I should. Everyone has different opinions on that, but it seems like what I'm doing so far is working pretty good. I just talk to God directly, and I ask Him for signs. I ask Him to speak to me and tell me what I need to do, and so far so good. I am definitely feeling a lot happier. But anyway, I want to share like 3 main things I do when I start my day to help me stay happy and stay positive, not sink into the negativity, because I found once I let my thoughts go, I start feeling negative, and then I don't even want to get out of bed. I don't want to do anything I need to do. I dread everything, and it's just an awful setup for your day. You don't want to do that every day. So anyway, I've got some notes down here in front of me, so if I look down, that's why. Anyway, the first thing I do, when I open my eyes in the morning, used to be that the first thing I would do is just start thinking negative, start dreading my day. I didn't even want to get out of bed. I'm tired. I just want to go back to sleep. And then if I didn't have to work or any responsibilities at that time, it was like, yeah, I can just go back to sleep. And I would sleep too long. Then I would wake up and I would feel worse than I did if I'd have just gotten up in the first place. You ever have that happen? Like you sleep too much and then you're more tired and you don't feel good, you got a headache. So anyway, I had to change that. So, because as soon as you open up your eyes, it's like the thoughts are there, and it's like you're dreading getting up, the things you have to do, your housework, an appointment you don't want to go to. Maybe it's a mammogram, you don't want to get your boobs squished. I know it's painful, or you got to get your kids ready for school, and they're always not wanting to get up or give you a hard time, and it's stressful. Or you have a job you got to get to, and you got to get ready, and maybe you're dreading your job. It's not horrible, but you're not really supposed to still be at this job because you don't really like it. It's not fulfilling. Anyway, so that's number 1. When you first wake up, do not think about anything. So that's what I do now. I don't think, I just do. Actually, I wake up and I sit up, I start playing on my phone. Give your brain, that's number 2, give your brain a chance to wake up. And then just I play a game on my phone to wake my brain up. It gives me time. I get up a little bit earlier before I have to get my kids up for school to get going, because I already know what it's going to be like. It's going to be stressful. So give myself a little time to wake up. I have my water. Some people got to get up and have their coffee. I used to drink coffee, but I don't anymore. It bothers my stomach. But if that's your go-to, go ahead. Drink your coffee. Get woke up. I drink my water. I put electrolytes in, Element. I buy LMNT, Element, different flavored electrolytes, and I drink that. I take my vitamins. I do take some caffeine to help me get going, not too much. And I don't advise that for everyone. If it makes your heart race, you don't want to do that. But I used to get my caffeine from coffee, and I don't anymore, so that's what I do. And it helps me become more alert. So anyway, then it's time, and I don't always want to do it, but okay, I gotta get going. Gotta get my son up first, because he goes on a different bus. He has ADHD, and some mornings go smoothly, but most of the time they don't. He does not want to go to school. He doesn't want to get up and get ready. He wants to lay and watch YouTube videos or play on his papa's phone. And And so it's a struggle. The first thing I do is try to get his medicine in him, because that helps calm him down, because he's usually bonkers off the wall first thing in the morning when he gets up, until he gets his medicine and it has time to kick in. So I normally get him up at 5:30 in the morning, because his bus comes at 6:30. That gives us an hour to get him going, because sometimes it takes like 30 minutes just to get him ready. So once I got his medicine in, I have all his clothes ready: his pants, his shirt, his coat, his hat and gloves, his book bag, everything's ready to go, his boots. So, you know, sometimes I'm chasing him around the house trying to get his medicine in him, and he's, you know, he might be cursing. But sometimes I have to enlist someone else's help to help me corner him, and, you know, I'll bribe, I'll be nice. I start off nice, and sometimes it ends in me being stern, like, come on now, we're running out of time here, we gotta get ready. Eventually, by some miracle, we always manage to get him ready. There have been a couple times where he's decided to sprint across the yard and around the, you know, and I've had to say, I'm sorry, you know, I don't want to hold you guys up, and the bus driver's there waiting, and I brought him to school. But lately, thankfully, he just, by then the medicine's kicking in and he gets on the bus and he's off to school. And then the next step is my two daughters, and they can pretty much get themselves ready, but my 11-year-old does not usually want to get up. Sometimes she does, but usually I'm nagging her for about 15 minutes to get up and get in the shower. She has to take a shower every morning, and she gets up finally once she's up in the shower. Then I just have to nag her. I usually wait till like 10 up, because their bus comes at 7 a.m. and it's like, okay, you've been in there sucking up all the hot water long enough. She'll usually stay in there until the hot water's gone, and then she'll get out, and then she gets herself ready. Thankfully, I have my 18-year-old who is no problem at all. Gotta have at least one good one to keep you sane, right? So anyway, so they both get on the bus at 7, and then I'm peace and quiet. Okay, so then number 3. Now I've got my do list, which I usually do the night before, because I'm a night owl. So I usually want to do things at night, not during the day. I'm not a morning person at all, but I have to do it. I have to deal with it. So that's the rule number 3. You have to do it. There's nothing to it but to do it. You just got to do it. So you have your list. And I'll play a game with me on my phone and set timers. So like I'll say, okay, after I went through that stressfulness of getting the kids off to school, if I don't have to go pick an Amish person up right away or do something pressing urgently, I will sit and play on my phone, but I'll set the timer for like 30 minutes, and at 30 minutes I have on there, you know, laundry. Usually I start with laundry, dishes, and sweeping the floor, and that's where I started when I was first like trying to get things done, and I really was never motivated to get up and do it. Kitchen was always like my first spot, because there's a routine to it, you know, so that's what it is. It's kind of like you're a robot. It's like, okay, I know what I gotta do first, I know the steps I gotta do, you know. But now usually I'll start the laundry first. I'll switch out a load if there's one in the wash, or I'll get one started, switch out in the laundry, dump the dry stuff on my bed to fold. I'll go in the kitchen, I'll start filling the sink. I round up all the dirty dishes and cups and silverware and get them in there and get the sink filling. Okay, and then I let them soak for a little bit, turn that faucet off. The next thing I would do is grab a paper bag or some kind of bin, go around and collect all the garbage. My kids don't seem to know where any of the garbage cans are, so they just toss their stuff wherever they're sitting. If they're snacking on a Baby Bell cheese, yep, the wrapper's going to be on the floor. Or my son likes to help himself, you know, get a glass of milk, and there's always half-empty glasses of milk laying around, and, you know, you try to nag, but it doesn't do any good. So anyway, I make my rounds, I collect all the garbage first. We do burn as many papers as we can, because if we put everything in the garbage, we'd be paying a fortune. It's almost $4 a bag where I am to get rid of our garbage, and we usually have at least 1, sometimes 2 bags of garbage a week. So if we had to put the paper in there, it'd probably be more like 3 or 4 bags per week. So anyway, we burn whatever paper we can, wrappers, school papers I don't need to save, junk mail, you name it. Okay, so once I get that done, then I'll go around, see if there's any more bowls, plates, cups, or whatever in my kids' rooms. Okay, bring that out to the kitchen. Then the third thing I do is get another bin for like laundry, dirty clothes. Another thing, my kids don't ever seem to know where the laundry basket is or where the washer is to put it out by the hallway to get it washed. So I make my rounds with that. The bathrooms, the bedrooms, see whatever clothes are laying around that need to be washed. So I put them all in the bin, run them over to the washing machine, set it over there so they're ready to go for the next load. And then, if I'm not going to do the dishes right away, but I usually do, I'll wash the dishes, set them in the little dryer thing, and then I wipe down all the counters, the table. I would also get another bin to collect anything that doesn't belong there. And I just put everything in a bin. I don't like run one thing to one place and one thing to another. I just put it all in one bin. So it might be my son's toys. He's got a couple Matchbox cars, or it might be a pair of scissors, that someone used and didn't put away in the office. Or it could be, an important piece of mail that I need to save. That's got to go in the office, or, you get it. So you get the point. Anyway, so I have that basket. Okay, I set that to the side. Wipe down all the counters. Next thing I would do is sweep, and I go room to room and I just sweep up piles. So I have a pile in every room, and then I'll go around and I'll pick up the piles. Now sometimes in between this, if I get tired, I would take another break, set my timer for a half hour, rest, have some water, I might even make breakfast. I don't usually eat food right away on this carnivore diet. And sometimes I don't get hungry till like noon, 1 o'clock. And I might just eat then, and then I might be good the rest of the day. I might just, drink water, or I might have another meal around dinner time, usually around 5 or 6 p.m. And then I'm good. So, in between doing my chores, my regular housework, I will fix myself something to eat. It's usually bacon and eggs. At dinner, sometimes it's just a ribeye or some hot dogs and mustard. It's pretty simple, and actually I like it. It's simplified my routine. I do still make regular meals for my kids. My husband is doing kind of a version of a low carb. He's not really doing all meat, so it's just me. So I just make the meat for myself, and then I'll make some sides for the kids, or they can just get whatever they want to add to it, to the meat. So I simplified my dinner routine because there's nothing I hate more than, Mom, what's for dinner tonight? It seems to be my husband and my children's favorite question, and it's not mine. So anyway, so those are the 3 things I do. First, wake up in the morning, don't think about nothing. Just get your brain, secondly, get your brain woke up first. Okay? And then you just tell yourself, look, I just got to do it. Nothing to it but to do it. That's 3. Just get up, get the pressing things done. Like you got to get your kids off to school. Then, once they're gone, or you got to get ready for work, whatever it is. Okay? So those are my 3 steps. Once I got into forming new habits like that, more things started getting done. I started feeling better. I wasn't waking up as often, automatically thinking negative. I'm controlling those thoughts. Like I said in my first video, you gotta take those thoughts, throw them out, replace them with positive thoughts, and just make yourself happy. So anyway, those are my 3 pointers for today. And if you got anything out of this, like and subscribe, and tune in for my next video. I'll try to do one every day or every other day, or whenever I think I have something important that might help you. And like I said, your first turn is to God. You tried the rest, now try the best, because you have to go to Him first. Now He does work through people, so He will lead you to the right person, or lead you to the right person that's going to say something that you need to hear, and in the right way that you need to hear it. So you're going to say, aha, like they say, you have those light bulb aha moments. Like, yes, I finally get it. Maybe somebody else has been telling you the same thing for 10 years, but you just didn't get it. And now you do, because you like the way this person presents it, or how it's presented, or it's just the right timing in your life. Anyway, another thing is, don't give up. If you woke up, if you opened your eyes today, you're still in the game. Don't give up, no matter what. You're not feeling right, something's not right, it's not right. And only God can help you. And God knows who you need in your life to help you. And it will happen. You just have to have faith. And you have to put 1 step forward, okay? When I started, it was 2 steps forward, 1 step back. but at least I was still making progress, and it took a long time, but honestly, you will get there. I thought I would never be able to change. I thought I would not be able to experience joy or happiness. I thought, I just don't know how. This is just the way I am. No, it's not. You get tired of feeling and living that way, and you just ask God, like, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what to do about it. Can you please help me? That's all you got to do. Okay? All right. Have a great day. God bless you. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.